Hello and welcome to Arcade Couch, best place to two friends get your gaming goodness each and every Monday. My name's John Blight. Joining me on the couch this week, Ashley Hobley.
Hey Dylan, excited to be here, but disappointed. It's been a whole week since we've been able to talk about Square Enix cutting their company in half and being purchased by Embracer Group. Looking forward to talking about that later in the episode.
I'll see you, Kieran Marchant.
Hey, welcome to Arcade Couch, where the points don't matter and nobody ever wins.
Oh. Game show Kieran today, eh?
Yeah.
What's that from? Fuck.
It's from, whose line is that anyway?
Yes, that's it.
Have you been watching that, or is that just...
No, it just popped into my head, just like you and Power Rangers and every fucking else thing that we referenced at the start of the episode recently, so just jumped on the bandwagon, you know? Just,
yeah, listen to Between the Cushions, you know? The prompt was trading cards.
Yeah. Trump. The secret word
you
of
mean,
this week.
You mean it's one person spoke about trading cards, while two other people acted like they actually cared?
Hey, that's me. I was trying to share. Today on the show, got Trek To Yomi review for you in a moment. Talk about, of course, the stuff Ash was teasing. Embracer Group buys a whole bunch of Square Enix IP and developers. And then we've got some other stuff to discuss as well, including Summer Games Fest. Jeff Keighley finally dropping like when that shit's going to happen. AEW officially announcing the title of the game, though we kind of knew it for 2 weeks ago. And Neil Blomkamp, who we did cover this story like a year ago when he announced he was like doing a game, and now I finally know what it is. So interesting.
Did I redo my opening? I just remembered. Excited to be here, Dylan, but not as excited as I am that we're going to be getting news about Skull and Bones very soon.
Why? How would we get news? Where would we get news? Summer Game Fest?
Because they put out like a video the other day saying that more news about Skull and Bones is coming soon.
That's cancelled.
Skull and Bones? The expansion to the world-renowned Assassin's Creed Black Flag? Damn! Can't believe that game's coming out finally.
That is a world-renowned game. I don't know why you mean me. It's a world-renowned game. Black Flag is a good game.
Yeah, when did it come out? Like 20? It came out 2 generations ago. 2 console generations ago.
No, only
it was
one.
On the 360 and the PS3.
Yeah, but
yes,
it launched on the PS4.
No, yeah. But it was on the PS4. It was already on the other two.
Yeah, by like 2 weeks.
Exactly. It's a long 2 weeks.
So, Kieran, you'll finally be able to play as the boats in that game.
God, not even a person. I'll be the boat.
I am the boat.
Holy shit.
I
hope I'm built
now.
out of like some good wood. Like some solid wood. Like, you know, like mahogany. Why didn't they make ships out of mahogany? You know what? Let's carry on. That's
Expensive,
right.
probably.
Trek To Yomi. Game I know I've been looking forward to. I know Ash has been looking forward to.
Like, very anticipated. Looked beautiful. Much buzz. You did like a preview a couple of months back.
Talked about it on here.
Talked about it. Said very exciting.
Yep.
Everybody should be looking forward to this game.
Mm-hmm.
Really excited to hear your thoughts on Trek To Yomi.
It was like, it sounded like a shoo-in for like a potential like indie game
It was
of
like
the year.
talk about indie game of the year.
Like, yeah,
Trek
like
To
it was
Yomi.
already out there and ready to go. Like we
It's
were
like, forget Ghost of Tsushima. We're ready.
Yeah.
We're ready for Trek To Yomi.
Trek To Yomi is a big disappointment.
What?
no way.
Sorry to say. So, in case you don't know what this game is, you've probably seen it. It showed up first time Devolver Digital's E3 or non-E3 conference or whatever the fuck that thing's called. It is a mostly side-scrolling action game, although there are times where the camera like gets behind you and you like sort of can move forward, like 3D environment and stuff like that. It's a very stereotypical sort of samurai revenge plot line. The main feature and like selling point and thing that stood out in the trailer from the moment we saw it, of course, is this very striking, beautiful black and white cinematic art style with obvious inspiration to Akira Kurosawa. And I mean, that's all over. The Kurosawa inspiration is everywhere, from the way it looks to the way lighting's used to the way the music, you know, just the general straight plot of it. I mean, all that's there. All of that's the best part of the game. It looks great. Like, and it's not afraid to have like play with the camera angles and get very cinematic at times. Almost a detriment of gameplay, like sometimes where the camera's just sort of in an annoying position, or like, you know, like makes like seeing what your character's doing is harder, but you're like, fuck, it looks cool though, sort of thing. But the problem with this game that I had, or the biggest problem, is that it's just not fun to play, and it's a video game. Like,
that seems like a problem.
Yes. So the combat, which I had no problem with in the preview, and I think that's just I didn't have
the best part.
Well, it was just because I didn't
fresh.
play it as long.
Different.
Like, yeah, it was like, oh yeah, and like, and in my mind, obviously, I'm like, this is fine, and then I guess you just assume that it'll be built upon as the game progresses or whatever. But no, like, you pretty much know what you're going to be doing for 6 hours, 30 minutes into this. Like, what you're doing 30 minutes into this is exactly the same thing you'll be doing over and over again for 60 minutes. The game sets you up. It tells you how to do a parry, one button, counter. Tells you press a button, you do a counter attack. That's all you need to know. That's about it. Every now and then, though, the game will introduce another enemy, and you learn, like, a quick way to dispatch them. So, like, say they introduce an enemy with a spear or whatever. They're like, roll into the spear, or get it. Like, enemies with bow and arrows. Like, time you roll under the arrow, strike them. Like, that's it. So, other than that, normal enemies is just like counter attack. Every now and then, the game will give you special attacks, but none of them feel good enough, or there's no need to ever really inflict them. Like, you don't really feel like there's any necessity, or they don't take down enemies so much faster that there's a reason that you should be trying to do these way more convoluted and complicated, like, button inputs to do attacks when you can just counter attack. So, and then the other thing is, like, it's a side-scrolling action game. It's very slow. It sort of becomes very tedious. The combat becomes a monotonous task to see the beautiful screens that are throughout the rest of the game. So it's not that combat's bad. Like, it's just a thing. Like, it exists, and I have no fun playing it. I'm doing the combat to see what the next environment looks like. I kind of wish I could just walk through the game. In fact, if anyone wants to play this game, I didn't say this in my review.
I was about to ask.
If anyone wants to play this, just play it on the super easy difficulty, which I played for like maybe 5-10 minutes. It is piss easy on the easiest difficulty. You can like one-shot everyone or whatever. And just go through the game like that and just speedrun it. Honestly, that's probably the funniest way to play it.
Would it be better if you don't want to play it just to watch it? Just
potentially.
Somebody else?
I know, but you still have to watch people do the boring combat. And if they're playing on a hard difficulty, it takes a bit longer, I guess. So, but I mean, it's on Game Pass. It's 100% a great Game Pass game. But I don't think because it's a good Game Pass game suddenly means I should like up the score. Like this.
Yeah, no.
That's what I've seen. It's free, so it's better because it's free. No, that's not how it works. But yeah, would you recommend? Is the story and the visuals worth
paying?
Going through it are very easy.
I think if you have Game Pass, I think I would encourage you to play it, because you've got access to it without having to spend money. And I would say just play it on easy. Like for you, I would say just play it on easy. And I think you would enjoy it. I don't think the story's good. Not because it's like particularly bad. I just think it's very paint by numbers, which is totally what they're going for. But at the same time, I have no attachment to the characters or anything at all. But I do think if you can access it or do want to spend the money, it is definitely from an artistic perspective, definitely one of the greatest art designs for a game this year. Like if this is at the end of the year in Game of the Year territory, if this shows up in like best art direction or anything like that, that's fine by me. I'm currently like totally on board with that.
Yep.
But it's just not a fun game to play. It's I had this game for so long, like ahead of review, and the fact that it took me so long to beat it because I wasn't enjoying playing it, so sort of says the most, I feel, because I was really looking forward to this, and then I sat down for like my first like few hour session, and then I came out at like playing past what I did in the preview period and like an extra hour and a half or whatever on top of that, an hour and a half, and then I was just like not enjoying it at all, and I didn't really want to even come back and play it. Like I had no pull like to make me come back and play it. I wasn't like, oh fuck, I can't wait to get home and play Trek To Yomi. I was like, I guess I better finish Trek To Yomi and like do that review. So yeah, I can't particularly recommend it, but if you have Game Pass, I just play it on easy. You get to see all the pretty things, the good environment. I mean, and the lighting again. I think the lighting's really good. Although again, that I point this out in my review. At times the bloom is like so high that like if you come to like a bright fire or a bright like hanging light in a ceiling or something, your character will just sort of disappear because it's just letting out such a giant illumination. It's like sort of annoying, but Looks great. Fuck the gameplay. So that's one game review that's gone up this week. Got a bunch of gear reviews. So firstly, I did a poster review for the EPOS H3 Pro hybrid headset. I gave it a 9.5. So that's the highest headset I've given a headset.
Ooh.
I do think this is definitely one of the best headsets I've used. I think the thing's fantastic. With the little asterisks on it being, it is like 400 Australian dollars. So it's of a premium cost. And for most people, this isn't a necessary purchase at all. And I even point out in my final remarks here, wherever I say something, if you're going to buy this just for your PS5, you're going to overpay, as there'll be more efficient options, some from EPOS themselves, including the H3 hybrid, which is like half the cost with some less features, but totally unnecessary. So the coolest thing about this one is it comes with, I think I have it here. Yeah, I can come and show you the video. It comes with this tiny little USB, which most of the other EPOS headsets don't have. So you can plug that into your PS5. You got Bluetooth. You got a Bluetooth enabled headset there. It also has Bluetooth in it, so you can just hook it up to your computer if it has Bluetooth, laptop, phone, etc., via Bluetooth. It has a 3.5 millimeter cable, so you can plug it into your controller, anything like that. So it has a lot of versatility in that you can use it in literally everything. It sounds really, really good. All of EPOS headsets always do. I think the mic has got quite good quality. I know I was playing Apex with Ash that one night while I was using it. He said it sounds good. Buddy said it sounded good. I recorded a test thing that I've uploaded in my review. I think it sounds good. Again, for a gaming headset, the mics are never going to sound like this,
like this
podcasting mic.
No, it's not like
there's a thing, but I think as far as a gaming headset, I think the mic sounds pretty good. And then you've got noise cancellation, active noise cancellation that you can sort of flick off or on the side as well. So that's, again, a high-end feature that some other headsets don't have. That's really good. It does drain the battery life to nearly half of what you're sort of going to be getting, depending on if you're using Bluetooth or wired or any of these sorts of things. It feels great. It looks really good. The one I got offered 2 colors to review. There was I think it was the white one, and I could go with this green one. So I went with this racing green color that I really like.
That's very nice.
Yeah. So it's white, black, which are pretty, normal, boring. And then I really like this green, and I like that it has this gold tint on the side around the edges of some things. And I'll show in the video. So all of their recent headsets have this. I think it's really cool. So the mic part can just, I'm trying to do it while holding it. You can sort of just flick that off the mic, and if you don't want to use that, or you just sort of game by yourself, there's a circular bit that you can put over that to cover the hole, so then it just looks like a headset. So again, $400. It is expensive. It feels great. It looks great. It sounds great. If you've got the money and you're someone who potentially would use it, because that's my number one thing for this. I think if you're someone who has multiple devices, because I tried it on everything, right? So in the same day, I'm playing some shit on PS5. I Bluetooth it to my Switch, Bluetooth it to Xbox, Bluetooth it to PC, plugged it into, if you've got heaps of devices and you want one headset that can safely do everything, then maybe it's then worth a bit more money because you don't have to buy a different headset for different consoles and that sort of stuff. However, as I said at the end of my review, if you've only got one console, I feel like you could potentially save a bit of money and go for something else, unless you really want some of those premium features, maybe the ANC or something like that. So, that's good. EPOS is sort of having a good run of headsets.
Is this going to be a go-to headset for you now?
Yeah, this is my main gaming headset now, I'd say.
No,
yeah.
Very good.
I feel that's going to be my one, so that's good. I will, as much as I've just said, it's very easy to connect it to multiple devices. I am just going to use a different one that's mainly for my Switch, just solely because I have the multiple headsets lying around. I can't be fucked desync and syncing stuff. But I mean, if you're someone who just buys one headset, then it is a good, it's 10 seconds to obviously. But I'm of a point of privilege there where I've got sent enough headsets that I can afford to have stuff connected to multiple devices. Then Jacob posted 2 gear reviews. They're both from Mountain, which I had never heard of, to be completely honest. He saw them in JB Hi-Fi and was like, they look cool, I want to review them. So reached out and got sent a keyboard and a mouse for review. Did them. So the mouse is called the Makalu 67. Makalu 67, yeah. Which he gave an 8. is a wired mouse. Overall, he says he enjoys it and everything like that. Read his full review, but the one I would say that
it looks like it's very well ventilated.
Yeah, it does have what the fuck's that design called? I forget what it's called. Like with
it's like a mesh design,
a
honeycomb design.
Yes,
honeycomb. It's the common design at the moment for gaming mice to reduce the weight of the mice itself.
Yeah, all the esport players use this.
It's very.
It's like an F1 car, like trying to lose as much weight as possible.
Yeah, just trying to get within the FIA regulations and get an advantage without inspector
cheating,
Sebastian Vettel checking out the mouse.
But the keyboard that he got that he reviewed is the one that sort of stood out to me as the most interesting, which is the Mountain Everest Max keyboard. This thing, I remember, because he sent me a picture over Discord or whatever when he got them. And the thing that stood out to me straight away was I was like, is that a fucking customizable bunch of switches and buttons and whatever up the top? And I was like, yeah. I was like, it's like having a mini sort of Steam Deck at the top of the keyboard, because you got all these hotkeys that you can change the pictures that appear in them and what apps they open and stuff. I'm like, that's pretty fucking cool. So it's got a whole bunch of customization features, RGB lighting. You can customize all of this in the software. It got, I can't remember how many colors, several different colors. It's USB 3.2 and whatever else. So overall, I'd suggest reading his review though. It sounds really, really good as far as keyboard goes.
So it's very customizable. So.
Very customizable and everything like that. And yeah, he gave that a 9.5. And that's his keyboard going forward. He really, really loves that. So bunch of gear reviews. Headset, gaming headset, mouse, keyboard. Check all that. Links in the description, of course, or show notes and that sort of stuff. But check it all out on Explosion. All right, let's jump into the news. Firstly, let's get an update on Activision. Woo!
Woo!
Kotaku writes, Activision Blizzard is facing what feels like its 8,583,000 lawsuit. This one's from New York City and alleges that longtime CEO Bobby Kotick raced to find a buyer for the mega publisher he has been leading for 30 years to explicitly avoid consequences for turning a blind eye to the claims of widespread instances of harassment at the company. Skip over the stuff we sort of know because we've covered it enough on this report. Earlier this year, in Australia, unprecedented deal. Microsoft scripted the thing. Yep. Last September, we'll just go from here. Last September, the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission filed suit against the company, though that was settled for US $18 million. In March, one unnamed woman sued the publisher, claiming she was retaliated against for reporting sexual harassment to its HR department. The company is also facing a down class action suit. This latest suit, which was filed by New York City's Employees Retirement System in Delaware court late last month, essentially stipulates that Activision Blizzard opened up its books and proved that industry-shaking deal wasn't designed to provide cover for Kotick. In February, the DEFH subpoenaed the Los Angeles Police Department for any potential criminal records for Kotick. As Access, who originally reported on this, notes, New York City has pushed Activision Blizzard for access to these documents for months. Quote, with the announced merger, Kotick will be able to escape liability and accountability entirely and will instead continue to serve an executive after the merger closes, end quote, the plaintiff writes in the complaint. So, yeah, this is everything we sort of talked about, I guess, at the time, or was a going sort of topic of discussion, has he sort of sold to just, get our jail free card? And it's quite funny to me that it's gone from being sort of people talking about on Twitter as damn it, he's going to get away, to now being sued by New York City as a we see what you're fucking doing over there. So I think this is quite good. Hey,
I mean, it's interesting. Obviously, it's like an investment fund that's gone, hey, this seems shady. It's it looks like it's going to lose us money, so we're going to take it to court because.
Well, that's the thing, right? To me, this screams a competitor trying to use the good social justice aspect of this case as a smokescreen to affect the deal or get a crumb or do something with this. I don't see this as a positive. Hey, we're getting Bobby Kotick and we're gonna make him pay. We're gonna put him up on the stake and burn him. No, it just seems like hey, this is just your average business thing. It does seem to be, because it's fact finding and information finding. It just feels like this has just been a way they can use to get the information from the books, which I would not be surprised if this spawned into something else that was beyond the scope of just kind of this one suing, I guess.
I mean, you could be right, but I do feel like even if another company is going to get success off this, I would still love to see I'm going to take the way.
I'm not going to begrudge New York City employment's
No.
retirement fund of getting some money.
Yeah, I'm certainly don't care if that's the end goal, if that's where the money's going, and Kotick gets his sort of day in court because of it. So that's fine by me.
Yeah, but it is an interesting trend that's currently happening because obviously Netflix is currently being sued by an investment group as well for
and
overestimating their results.
Like, just very different, kind of groups getting sued at the moment. Like AEW Wrestling's currently getting a class action lawsuit against them for not making their website accessible to people who are, I believe it's blind users. Which is a thing that happened to WWE previously as well. I think it's just
it's an American thing.
Yeah.
And just quickly mention it. I didn't want to bring it up because I didn't know how much we'd discuss, but TSM's CEO at the moment. There's a massive story.
Yes, I was reading through that earlier today. There's some real big bad stuff, which is interesting considering when you look at things like Myth, their biggest content creator that's been signed with TSM, leaving very recently, and you got the feeling from his leave that he wasn't leaving under good pretenses.
And I found it super interesting. I was like reading a bunch about it because as someone who used to be, massive League of Legends fan, and TSM was my team, I watched a lot of TSM streamers. I watched TSM back then. The team had
like Double Lift.
Yes, and they had they at one stage they had a show, like a reality show that was on I don't know actually remember where it was, like GameSpot or somewhere like that.
Was it like Spike TV or something?
Spike, it could have been something like that. Like it followed them through LCS season and something like that. But yeah, I mean there's like a bunch of footage from there was someone he made, like he's got off with Dyrus, who used to be their top laner, Chaox, who like quit the team or got fired. I can't actually remember. I think he got fired, and it was in that show, the reality show. But I mean, look, as someone who's for a long time like read about Andy being a horrible person, like seeing it sort of come to where more people are saying that, it's like, this is like sort of been a known thing for anyone who's like sort of followed TSM for a while. So that's super interesting from the esport sort of angle and stuff there. But yeah, they've lost a bunch of talent and streamers and whatever else. So interesting. Talking about AEW though. Eurogamer writes, former WWE developer Yuke's announces AEW Fight Forever. Yuke's, the Japanese developer behind 2 decades of popular WWE games, has announced is returning to wrestling genre with a new project, AEW Fight Forever. There's no word yet on a release date of platforms, beyond a vague promise of PC and consoles, but today's announcements and first look at development will likely be welcomed by fans who have missed Yuke's work over the past few years. Yuke's final WWE game was 2018's WWE 2K19, before publisher 2K Sports gave Yuke's the boot and chose US outfit Visual Concepts to take control of the series instead, with decidedly poor results, so much so that WWE 2K21 was cancelled altogether. We've known previously that Yuke's was now working on an AEW game, though little else. Of course, it's somewhat ironic. Yuke's will return to the genre with a rival series featuring WWE's own big rival wrestling promotion. There's been... Kieran,
a bunch of rumors.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of like unconfirmed stuff between overspending on the game, issues with Yuke's and Kenny Omega. For some I don't even know where that story came from, because there's also another story that said...
because Kenny is the head of AEW games.
Yeah, but like there was also another story that was like the relationship's great. Like it's just based on the footage that came out, the very little gameplay footage that was released recently, and the fact that they reckon this is coming out this year. How are you feeling about this game, Kieran?
I haven't really felt good about this game since it was initially announced. I'm not a big fan of the art style that they have already displayed. Coming out with, and this is the company's first video game in terms of large scale console game. I think they announced the roster's only 50 people. There's
50
going to
people,
be, in the grand scheme of things, that means probably the women's division is probably going to be very light in this game all up. Just if you kind of put into terms like the rest of their tag team division, their male division in general. I find it interesting how they're going to minimize it to 50, 50 people on the roster. I think AEW's in a weird spot because it's feels to be like a eternal spot of change, especially very recently. There's been a number of AEW original wrestlers have been leaving the organization, or being just subtly removed from their roster page. And new wrestlers coming in pretty much every couple of weeks. A couple of things. It's like the worst possible thing that could happen in this game was WWE 2K22 being amazing and being the best wrestling game in recent history, which it was. So it kind of already puts it in a tough spot. They've already had to come out and said, "Hey, this is no 2K22 Slayer or anything like that. This is just our own game." I just hope it approaches it from a more, passionate wrestling viewpoint, and just is a good building block for whatever they decide to do with this in future.
Yeah, I'm keen either way. I definitely feel like based on what they've shown, I just don't feel like it's going to be ready for this year. I don't know why they. And I mean, to be fair, they haven't said that. That's a rumor. So, they haven't gave like a date or whatever. But I guess I have said they reckon it's still coming this year. But I know some people don't like the character models. I think the character models look alright, especially considering like there's still some polishing and whatever else. Like it's not like it's the final product.
I just think the art design reminds me too much of the WWE All-Star Brawl. Was that All-Star Brawl?
You reckon it does? I reckon it does.
I think they're a little bit more of that caricature type cartooniness.
I don't know. They're going for realistic. So,
I don't know. Like, there's the particular picture of Kenny Omega that I just really dislike.
But that's the one from like the reveal, like from like
yes, where it looks like his pecs are like two like plates.
Yeah, that's like really early footage. So that was from when they announced.
I hope it's included in proof, but yeah, I'm not being optimistic for that.
I think the thing is this game has the potential to come out and be okay and get good over time, because they already said they don't plan on putting out one of these every year. So the plan is to get this out the door and then like just add wrestlers and updates and patches and modes and stuff going forward. So it's like just get the bare bones basics of this game right, and then you can work on it from there. You can work on the roster, you can work on the especially because I can guarantee some of the modes that they've promised for it when they revealed it, they're going to have to cut like some of that, I reckon, to get this out the door, especially if they're trying to get it out before a certain date for like business reasons and stuff potentially like that. But it's like, well, you can just add it later. Like if you want this to be a service game where you just want to build DLC for it and whatever, which I do think is a better idea, especially for a wrestling game. I feel like there's no reason a wrestling game needs to come out every year. Just you can just patch the wrestlers like for the if someone turns heel or whatever. Why do you don't need, you can just update. You can do an update pack. You can add people. You can charge people for DLC. You can charge people for a big expansion that adds a new mode or something like that. It's fine. And people pay for it. And I think that's justifiable. It's not like loot boxes or, something crazy. Anyway, yeah, so we'll find out more going forward. I'm sure now that the ball's officially rolling on sort of not just talking about it, but actually showing stuff. But a new Mafia game is reportedly in development under new studio leadership, writes PC Gamer. 2K Games confirmed today that Hayden Blackman, the longtime president and chief creative officer of Mafia studio Hangar 13, is leaving the company. Word of Blackman's departure comes alongside a Kotaku report saying that a new Mafia game is now in the early stages of development. Quote, it is with mixed emotions that share with you several leadership updates from Hangar 13. Hayden Blackman is stepping down as studio head of Hangar 13 and is leaving the company to pursue his passion at a new endeavor. We're grateful for Hayden's leadership in establishing Hangar 13, building and uniting teams in Novato, Brighton and Czech and releasing multiple studio-defining Mafia games and collections. What Hayden helped build will continue to carry forward and grow for years to come. Where are we going? We are confident studios, great hands. Under this new person, Nick Hayden, is taking over there. So it's been a rough half a decade for Hangar 13 Rights PC Gamer. After launching the decidedly not great Mafia 3 in 2016, the studio underwent significant layoffs in 2018 and had a multiplayer superhero game cancelled after spending $53 million and multiple iterations over years of development. While the Kotaku report cites only one source familiar with the plans, a return to Mafia makes sense. Mafia 3 didn't impress, but there was a real enthusiasm for Mafia Definitive Edition released in 2020, which is a very positive ranking across more than 35,000 reviews on Steam. So I'm keen for this, for sure. I never played the Definitive Edition just for a time, although I always liked, I know we talked about it here and was like, I would like to if I had the time, especially because I never played the first game and would always like to have gone back and actually played the first game. But I really like 2. I actually really like 3. I completely understand all the complaints about it being like rather repetitive and all that. But I really like those world. I like the characters, the music, all that sort of stuff. So the rumor is that it's going to be a prequel, like set before even the first one. So that means it's going all the way back to like 1920s or something like that. Yeah.
Let's go. Perfect.
Yeah. So I'm very keen. You keen for that, if that's the go, Karen?
Very much so. I think, it's not in the Mafia series, but Godfather 2, the video game, was like my favorite of this style of video games, and I think there's a lot of potential from these still. I think they took an interesting route during Mafia 3. It didn't pay off for everybody. Not everybody loved that game. So it'd be really nice to kind of go back to basics, maybe go to New York, maybe just classic style, I guess, almost stereotypical Mafia style businesses and enjoy the game and just have some fun with it. I think a lot of games have maybe a little bit like they try and be a little bit too serious in their stories, or they try and be too realistic, or they try and be too deep and meaningful in their storytelling, where it's just like, we just want a good Mafia game, like a good Mafia story, and I think that's something that could be delivered by them at Hangar 13.
Hopefully, because I hate when you see like saying they wasted all that money, something that didn't happen. They haven't done anything since 2016. It's like, man, sucks. So hopefully you can get something out the door, sort of thing. PC Gamer writes, District 9 director Neil Blomkamp, the brains behind Chappie, Elysium, how do you say it? And the great District 9 has been working on something with developer Gunzilla Games. The project has a name and debut trailer. It's called Off the Grid and bills itself as a next-generation battle royale with strong focus on narrative progression. The game is third person, and Blomkamp's role is as a chief visionary officer and co-writer alongside Richard K. Morgan, who is the writer on stuff as Altered Carbon and Crisis. The basic setup is that up to 150 players fight across the same map in both PvP and PvE storyline missions, with that map changing in real time as certain things happen. Quote, players have the freedom to control how the hard-boiled story unfolds, with each decision made directly impacting everyone's gameplay. Since the press release, the proof will be in the pudding with that one. Players can also craft, customize, and trade items in the game. The trailer they released, or the teaser, is nothing. It's just like a dude walking up to looking at a city, or something that's not entirely eventful. I'm of two minds of this, where I'm like, this sounds just like too much, and we already talked about how there's way too many battle royales, and like, why would you get into battle royales at this point? And 150 players sounds like too many. But at the same time, the idea of battle royale that's PvP, PvE with a story directly ingrained into every like moving moment of the game is intriguing enough that I at least want to know more. That's why I'm like, tell me more. Tell me a bit more. I'm keen. Sit me down, tell me. What do you reckon, Ash?
Yeah, I'm of the same mind. Like, obviously, we've seen so many different iterations of the Battle Royale, but we haven't seen, like, a narrative-focused Battle Royale yet. And if they can pull it off and make it interesting, that's, like, a pretty solid way to get people to invest time to go back in and again. But, yeah, 150 people per match, I think that's You're asking for some trouble with that many players.
Big ass match. Big ass map.
It's like big ass map, and then matchmaking. It's like
better be crossplay.
Still, but then you've got to wait till the 150 people are ready to play.
Yeah. Unless they fill with bots, if they're saying it's PvE, PvP. Maybe they just make more PvE on.
Maybe it's like there's only 10 players. There's 140 AI.
At that stage, it's just a co-op game. Fucking fighting together against robots.
Just unaware. You don't know who's human, who's not.
Yeah, maybe if they don't tell you, you'll never know. It's all a trick.
Yeah,
there's only one player in the game.
Yeah, voice chat. They won't break illusion, so voice chat is disabled.
Fair.
So you can't tell.
Proximity chat only, but you never come across anyone, so you just assume that you never actually. No one ever has their mics on. So.
I'll be honest. I thought this article was about District 9 video game, but that's why I agreed to talk about it.
Can't get any lucky.
That's fine. I completely forgot.
Didn't even read the article before.
I talked about this because they actually sent me when he announced he was doing it.
Yeah, I remember talking about this when they first announced Neil Blomkamp.
Yeah. Because it was like a whole press release. And because they sent it to me, they're like, "Oh, can we send you some news under embargo or whatever?" At the time, I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah.
And it turned out to be that, and I was like, "That's fucking weird," but whatever. All right. Heads up for anyone.
Good luck to him. Hopefully, he makes a good video game because he hasn't made a good movie in a while.
Whoa. What was his last movie?
Chappie?
Was it? No. There's something after that, wasn't there? You fucking double check that shit. I swear he did something after Chappie. Have I watched it? I don't remember. Or he was working on
Demonic.
something. Yeah, that's it. Demonic. It's not out yet, right?
No, it came out last year to generally negative reviews from critics.
Okay, so I haven't watched it.
There's probably a reason why you haven't watched it.
And I forgot. I thought it hadn't even come out, so that says a lot. I've been watching the trailer.
15% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I'll watch it.
I do remember talking about it.
Yeah, I do remember talking about the trailer or whatever and what do you want to watch. I want to watch it still. But I hadn't even realized it came out, so yeah, it says a lot. For people who've played Fortnite on the phones, iPhones, and you were disappointed the game got pulled, good news. Heads up.
So children,
I don't know. I mean, adults, I don't know. Fortnite is back on iOS
Residents
devices.
of Tomato Town.
Sort of. Right, PC Gamer. We have Microsoft to thank. Epic and Xbox have announced that Fortnite is now playable for free through Xbox Cloud Gaming. This means Fortnite can be played again on iOS devices like iPhones and iPads, despite being removed from the Apple App Store during the legal battle between Epic and Apple. All you need to stream Fortnite is a Microsoft account and a computer, iOS or Android device with an internet connection. As of today, it doesn't require Xbox Game Pass subscription. On iOS, you just have to open xbox.com/play and you'll be prompted to add the cloud gaming bookmark to your home screen. Then you're good to go. Streaming Fortnite through a browser is something you could have done for a few months with a GeForce Now membership, but it makes it a lot easier. Tested free Xbox cloud gaming, blah, 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 blah. So it's pretty cool. Nice fuck you Xbox got on on Apple there to get that on there. But yeah, I mean that is cool. Like it's free as well. Like you don't need to pay a subscription for currently. So I mean you can play Fortnite for free.
It's good get for Xbox. Their cloud streaming service. It's like, hey, do you want to play Fortnite on your phone? You can do it. Yeah. And it will get other people to check out other like cloud streaming stuff potentially and Xbox stuff. So yeah. Shame cool. It just won't work in Australia. I mean, it will on if you have 5G, more likely to work on. I had no problems around your house with Wi-Fi. I guess. Yeah, so on Wi-Fi, I've had like mixed results depending. 5G connection, no issues. But obviously, I don't know if you have. Do you have 5G at all?
I have 5G where I work. I don't have 5G where I live. That's okay. You've got it, Ash? Yeah. Around. Yeah. So around. The kids use up their phone data in like a day playing Fortnite. Yeah. Well, I mean, it would use the same amount. Doesn't matter the speed. Well, they're too busy dropping in Tomato Town, Man, I was thinking about playing Fortnite because they got the Star Wars stuff at the moment. So I was thinking about. Oh, is there another live concert? No, they just got a bunch of Star Wars stuff. One of your fandangle musicians. Because I've been thinking about jumping because I haven't tried it since they did the no build mode. So I've been like tempted to jump in, and now they got the Star Wars stuff. Let's jump in. We'll drop somewhere. Yeah, I was thinking about nearly streaming it, but now that I've said that, I don't know if it'll happen. We drop in. We drop in, boys. We drop in after this. Is that what you're saying? Calm down. It's fucking one step at a time.
Gotta finish,
Calm down.
finish
It's
this.
like Among Us all over.
Gotta finish this fucking podcast and see what time it is. What was I up to? Prince of Persia, right. Development of upcoming Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake has been moved to Ubisoft Montreal. And a post shared on the official Prince of Persia Twitter account, it was announced that Ubisoft Mumbai would be handing off the development to Ubisoft in Montreal, the same place where the original game was developed. The tweet picture thing says, this decision is an important step and the team building upon the work achieved by Ubisoft Pune and Ubisoft Mumbai will now take the time that they need to regroup on the scope of the game to deliver you the best experience for this remake of an old-time classic when it's ready. So this game is just basically, I feel like the development hell's maybe a bit far, but it's definitely in a bunch of trouble because it was originally supposed to come out February or something. I wrote it here somewhere in the article. January 21st. 2021 is the original reveal date that we had when this was coming out. They then delayed it to later that year. They then delayed it to this time, and now they've delayed it to fucking shrug emoji. And they've taken it off one team and given it to another. So, I mean, there's nothing good here. There's nothing good happening here. So, anyone who's a big Prince of Persia,
the only good thing that's happening is we won't get that janky looking version of Prince of Persia released.
It was bad looking. Even I was like, oof.
So it looks like they haven't done it. It looks like this game from PS2.
Yeah, they're like, is this a remake or is this just the footage or this is what you're remaking? Like you're just showing us so we know what it looked like, right? Yeah. So I mean, I also feel bad. Like I don't know, like what happened with that team that was working on it, that new team. Because that's what it was. Like, I think they hadn't done anything before. And I don't want to be like, oh,
it's a new studio, so this is like their first.
Yeah, but I don't want to be like, oh, they fuck it up, they're terrible. Because as far as we know, like Ubisoft didn't give them the proper support as a new team. You know, like it's hard to say, like what exactly went wrong.
I mean, they haven't had a lot of success with these like satellite studios in like new territories.
No, that's true. But what the answer is like, but the question is then why? Why not? What are they doing wrong as a company to not have success with these places? Like,
I assume like. Just ballpark guessing, it's a lot of new graduates rather than a lot of experienced.
So I think we've
devs.
I don't know if we've discussed this on the topic before. This is where I'm always like, okay, this is where you do need to send someone. Like you need to, if you're starting up these people with a bunch of new graduates and stuff, you need to, as far as I
you
don't
need somebody like in an office around them, not like.
Well, maybe that, or maybe COVID doesn't help. But I was just thinking that's where you send at least you send one person. To be like a leader.
I think
you
need more than one person.
No, but at least if it's a small team of 10 people, I don't know if you need more than one.
I don't think 10 people are making a video game at this stage.
No, but you know what I mean.
I'm
just saying like 1 to 10.
Wasn't Goose Game like 4 or 5 people? Goose Game was
of the scale of Prince of Persia.
Goose Game was like 3 people, I think. Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, depending on the amount of the team members, I don't know how many like leaders that you would need to send to sort of help out a team, but depends on the scope of the whole thing, but yeah, I know, sort of just disappointing, but
yeah. Although, did you see? Apparently, I think that the team is also working on another Prince of Persia project.
No, I didn't hear.
It's meant to be a 2.5D, like side-scrolling,
like old school Prince of Persia.
Done by like the Rayman Legends team.
I mean, I'm down for that more than this. To be honest.
Oh, really? That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'd be way more interested in that.
That's
than the remake.
Yes. You know what I wish? Like the best Prince of Persia was the Nolan North Prince of Persia. Is it Nolan North or Troy Baker? I think it was Nolan. No, it was Nolan because it's
Jake
Nathan Drake
Gyllenhaal.
Prince of Persia.
The Jake Gyllenhaal one? Is that the one you mean?
No,
like the one that was based on the game.
This was the no. It was
before that
Prince of Persia.
It was just called Prince of Persia.
Before that was like. It was just Prince of Persia.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And it was like the random one where you had like
it was
the
very cartoon,
female companion.
Very cartoon, bright
and it was
colours.
open world and cartoony style. Like dude was like that game was great. That game was awesome.
I never played it, but I know I think I know which one you mean.
But
didn't they release DLC
cool.
after the fact? That was actually the ending.
Yes, they released DLC to rewrite the end of it.
Yeah, and I think it was free.
Yes, correct. It did Mass Effect 3 before Mass Effect 3 could do it.
It did, actually, yeah. So
yeah.
Vooks put up this thing this week. The closest thing to a Nintendo store in Australia has closed as of last weekend. The Nintendo experience upstairs within EB Games Swanston Street in Victoria has all the stock removed, lights off, and the area is now roped off. Areas were used for Nintendo events, midnight launches, celebrity signings, tournament, a museum, and a retail spot First opened on Saturday, December 6th, all the way back in 2008. The upper level was filled with classic Nintendo consoles and displays, space to play games with friends, try out new games. There's been countless midnight launches there, etc., etc., etc. They've got a whole cool photo album here that they've got a bunch of people send into the website and stuff. Yeah, this is sad. I mean, I always went there every time I was in Melbourne. I don't know if anyone else... Have you been there? Or no, you've never been there.
I've been to that EB game.
You never went
been
upstairs.
to EB games.
You've never gone upstairs to that one, to the Nintendo side.
Never gone upstairs. Nope.
Man, what are you doing with your life? Come on. Man.
Anyway.
They had like a giant
Seems
Link
weird.
statue in there and everything at different times. They had like a whole...
It seems weird that they would close it unless they're refitting the upstairs for something else.
Potentially, yeah. I mean, it's just weird because it was
Which would be like a built-in Zing store, probably.
Yeah, another fucking Zing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably what it is because
That's just sad.
you're not paying for like 2 stories of a rented building and not.
Well, I mean, I
utilizing it all,
presume
but yeah.
Nintendo was paying for the upstairs part, like, is the thing.
Maybe that's what it was. It was like a sponsorship thing, and like they're like, nah, we're good.
Because you went upstairs.
Was there an elevator?
There may have been. I have no idea. I have no idea. I can't.
I'd hope so. Otherwise, they get sued.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there was. I don't know. But yeah,
maybe that's why there was also
like there was no from memory because it's been a while. Obviously, I haven't been to Melbourne for 10 years, but there was like nothing you could buy upstairs. Like it wasn't like a shop. It was like an area. They had like consoles you could play, seats, like displays and stuff like that. But it was just like a Nintendo area. It's cool, but sucks. Didn't get to say it one more time. They should have told me. Summer Game Fest.
PAX takes another victim.
PAX takes another victim. Yeah. Summer Game Fest Live, writes VG247. Summer Game Fest Live featuring Day of the Debs returns Thursday, June 9th, and will be live streamed from Los Angeles at 1 a.m. PT, 2 p.m. ET, 7 p.m. UK. I've not done the maths. I'm sorry, everyone. But say June 10th.
Early.
Something early. Yep. As usual, you'll be able to tune in via all major streaming platforms, including YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, and more. The stream will also be available on co-streams from creators. You can also head to your local IMAX theater in the US, Canada, and UK to watch it live. That's right. A fucking IMAX. If you'd rather attend the live show, tickets will go on sale May 12th at 9 a.m. PT.
So in Australia, it's 4 a.m. on a Friday morning.
Yeah.
On the Australian Eastern Standard Time. So shout out to Kevin Babrouge over at Press Start, who is very good at maths.
Thank you. He does. He breaks all the codes. This is cool. I'm looking forward to this one because it's going to be the first, like the fact it's a live event. So obviously Summer Game Fest started during the COVID times as Jeff Keighley's like, I'm fucking bored. Let me do something. And then obviously,
wasn't it? He got dropped by E3 and he's like, fuck E3.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it was. Or he quit E3, I think was, or whatever. But, yeah. He did the Game Awards obviously with an audience. But as far as this goes as a show, he's never done this as a show with an audience. So the fact that he's continuing to do it and now he's adding it as a audience thing where you can attend, I think it's cool.
Is it an audience thing?
Yep.
Yeah, he said live tickets to go to it.
Yep.
I thought it was like only cinemas.
He's doing it live as well with audience in attendance. So I think that's cool. I think that adds like a precedent to it that he's, it's an event. Like let's treat it like an event.
Well, he's just
it's
gonna be like Video Games Awards 2.0, but just without the awards.
Yeah. So what he actually wants?
That's all it'll be. Like it's awards. It'll be just video game announcements.
He won't have any of these pesky people making speeches in the middle of all his game announcements.
Hey, I bet he'll get Thingamy to still say "fuck the Oscars" in the middle of it, his mate.
Fuck the Oscars.
And he'll still, he'll still have a billion ads, and the Gillette man will be there. And
he'll come out and go, "Guess what? I'm making It Takes Two 2."
It Takes Two.
There'll be somebody in the
It
back
Takes Three,
interviews.
maybe. I don't know.
Doing interviews on a non-stabilized mobile phone camera.
All I know is I'm happy that June has some.
It's confirmed.
June was always going to have
stuff.
We can start sleeping now, so we have enough energy.
Yeah,
to wake up.
I'm good. If E3 is not happening, I just need people to fill the void. And of course, we already know Xbox is doing something, but press start right here. In case you missed it, a massive Xbox and Bethesda livestream showcase is planned to go ahead on June 13th. They'll bring trailers, gameplay reveals, and hopefully plenty of surprises. While fans around the world can watch the event digitally as it happens, Xbox is all hosting select in-person events in which the same vein as it's done before in the pre-pandemic days. This year, Aussie fans can get in on the action with a special watch party happening at Melbourne's Fortress Gaming and Entertainment venue with sweepstakes on now for a chance to win entry. Hopeful attendees will need to register or log into an Xbox FanFest account at xbox.com/fanfest for a chance to add a free double pass for the watch party, which is occurring at the rather unfortunate hour of 2 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time on June 13th. So that's cool. Yeah, we got.
Is it 2 a.m.? Because on the Xbox account it says catch the Xbox and Bethesda showcase at 3 a.m.
Yeah, I think they mean the Fortress Gaming event starts at 2 a.m.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was about to
you
say,
can
you'd be
go
like,
hang
oh,
out.
The thing here says runs from 2 a.m. to 7 a.m. The Xbox show is not going for that many hours.
No, it'll be
Or is
people come in, sit down, get your drinks, chill out a bit.
coffee.
Probably do some like giveaways and stuff to say, hey, thanks for coming to Fortress. All that kind of stuff.
Buy a fucking drink.
Get your caffeine fix here. We'll get caffeine IVs.
Yeah.
So you can stay awake.
But that's cool.
Yeah, nah.
That's cool for people who want to go to that. That's cool.
Yeah, no, I'll just stay in the comfort of my bed
Yeah, me too.
to 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. I mean, I'll
Bleary-eyed.
probably get out of bed, to be honest. But I'll stay in the comfort of my
Get my phone.
room.
Get Twitter out. Get ready for the hot tweaks.
Yeah, I was about to say. That's how you just roll it. Like, how do you watch those? So if you're in bed watching these things on your phone, do you have your laptop? Is that where you're watching and you tweet at the same time? Or like, what's the...
No, I've got like a TV. So
You watch it on your TV?
yeah.
And then on your phone you do the
On
hot
his-
take tweet?
On the
his
phone.
probably is like
Yeah, okay.
his HRT
Twitter.
screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, oh, trailer looks like trash in 720p.
Oh.
All right, let's talk about what we've been playing. And what we've been playing is I've been playing stuff and nothing much else. Let's go. Ready?
You already said you've been playing Trek To Yomi.
Drum roll, everyone. Living decks complete.
Oh shit!
I got jibbed. I actually got
In
fucked
one
on
week,
this one.
you
I'm not
have-
even.
You've got you've got
Do you have proof?
You got fucked up. Do you have proof? I haven't posted it yet because I wanted to give you the reaction live. But after this, I can
got
go.
fucking
drop it in
I
the
will
Discord
drop a
chat.
video
Yeah.
on Twitter of the living
I don't
decks.
even feel good about this one. Like, I don't even feel good about this loss. Like, this loss is.
Well, you're not
just
supposed to
like-
feel good about losing. That's the point. You lost,
Like,
motherfucker.
sometimes you feel good. No.
This
If
isn't-
had been done
this
fair,
isn't under
and I'd been
12s,
like, fuck Dylan.
Under
Fuck
sixes
Dylan.
football. You're supposed to learn how.
Yeah, learn how tough life
losing
is,
feels.
all right?
No. Because if it had been done, I don't know, if it had taken you longer, if it had been harder slog for you, you push through, or resilient, I would have been like, yeah.
I mean, do you want to
good
know
on
my
you,
playtime?
Dylan.
Do you want me
No,
to
it's
check
Mr.
that? Or?
I already had like 300 of the Pokemon.
I had 220, I think, is what it was. Out of 400.
Yeah, it was like, you had like, yeah. So it was like,
Let me just clarify for
I got
people who
gypped.
still don't understand. This process
got
isn't
gypped.
super easy. I had to complete the Pokedex first, but then I had to feel so like if there's a lot of breeding here, a lot of making Ditto have sex with another Pokemon and get an egg, you know, especially for the starter Pokemon. Like, so I have a Cinderace, right? So, but then I need its two other forms. So then I have to put my Cinderace in with the Ditto, get an egg, hatch the egg. I got evolve that to the second form, hatch another egg, hatch that,
Yeah.
leave it as is.
Sounds
Now I've got all
too
three
hard.
forms. You know, there's a lot of eggs. I've hatched a lot of eggs on this journey. No
So
sh-
really, you were just playing for the last week Pokemon breeding
Like, it's
simulator.
been 2 weeks. Like, it's 2 weeks since we originally made the bet. Like, it is.
Yeah.
It wasn't that hard if you've done it in 2 weeks.
Thank fuck there's been really no video games out, to be honest. I mean, I have had nothing but time.
Well, no.
Yeah,
What,
it's
no,
not like-
fucking don't even. I've had nothing to do other than not play the biggest video game of the year.
I'm playing the biggest video game in years. It's called Pokemon Sword. What are you talking about? Also, shout outs to, I don't want to name names because Kim might try and kill them, but I had 2 people reach out to me and they're like, if you need help, just let me know. I didn't need their help, but I just want you to know, Kieran, that people were willing to make sure I beat you. I don't want to name names, but one person, and they know who they are, and I want them to know it made me laugh. I was reading their message while walking through town, but their message said, and we don't need to tell Kieran until PAX time if you want. So I appreciate that. That's very good. Thank you very much. You know who you are.
Okay. No, it's fine. I've got suspects. I would know who it would be. It's fine. It's fine. You know, I got jibbed on this one, boys.
Hustled.
Look for the boy in my Bayonetta shirt at PAX.
Yeah, because the good thing is you're not going to have fucking Bayonetta to play it back, so get fucked, Dylan. I will have the last laugh on that one.
I think it's
Actually,
pretty bold of you to think they'll have Bayonetta shirts at PAX.
Also, because nobody gives a fuck about Bayonetta. But also, if Bayonetta comes out this year, fucking 2022, just fucking scratch it through. I'm done. I'm sick of it. Just none of this shit.
Man.
You know, everything's coming up, Dylan, and I'm not okay with that.
Yo, buddy shit. You can own me shit. You want to make a bet with Ash? Like, you want to keep going? Or?
Wait.
No, I'm okay with owning buddy shit.
Just not me.
Buddy's fine. Buddy's just a pack of TikToks.
Yeah. Mine's a most expensive piece of my chocolate.
I'm going to waste a single slice of pizza. Like, I'm going to let you, when I have my pizza, I'm going to share it with you, but I'm going to give it to you wrapped in the piece of merch.
I'm not going to eat it. I'm not going to eat it either way because that's just going to have cheese on it.
You damn straight it will.
Yeah.
It'll be double cheese.
I ain't touching that shit.
Triple cheese. You know what? That's it. When I win, I'm going to get the cheesiest motherfucking pizza. You're going to spend so much money on cheese that it's just you know, the cheese on the top of the cheesecake. Even
paying for it will slightly trigger your lactose intolerance.
Exactly.
Also, I want people to know I've now spent 10 hours in Pokemon Home, and that's just organizing. 10 hours. So that's how that's going. I've got like a living dex like started in that. Obviously, I'm not going to complete that because there's no way for me to complete that because I don't have like a way to like get every Pokemon into that. But it's a journey. We're officially now on the journey. I've got the boxes all set up.
Why can't you get all of them?
Because the only way to get all of them currently is if you have like X and Y and stuff like that on the 3DS, and then you can transfer.
Can't you just keep trading?
No, because I mean potentially, but there's just so many Pokemon. There's like games worth of Pokemon like X and Y and Black and White and all that sort of stuff. I just can't there's no access to a lot of those Pokemon on Switch games currently. But that's fine. I'm not in a rush. It's fine. It's just a project. I'm just saying it's just taking a lot of time to like set up there. And to make matters worse, I also because it's become like my weekly update. What the fuck weird shit Don's doing in Pokemon at the moment. So once I set up like the living dex Pokéboxes, like number them all, like drag in Pokemon from Sword and Shield, some Sword, Let's Go, Pokemon Go, like transferred in. So I had like one of every spares I could like put in there, put them in the right order, number 1 through the 808 or whatever the fuck it is. Done all that. And I was like, what else is there? So then I was like, oh, there's like Pokemon that have like different forms, like so I want one in the living dex, but then maybe I want multiples. Like for example, like the number 1 best example of this is Unknown. So Unknown counts as one Pokedex entry, right? But there's a whole alphabet.
There's like 25 versions.
Yeah. So then I'm like, I make another box, name it Unknowns, see what multiple Unknowns I can get. So set up that page. And then there's a few other Pokemon like, what are they called? Bernies, whatever. The trash bag fucking Pokemon that drops out of trees. There's like a different colored version of those. So I've started that. That's a box now, like forms. And I was like, what else is there? Like random collections I could start.
What if you try to get a shiny living dex?
Well, ideally, that would be the dream. However, that is fucking like, look,
that's a chance. The
year's 2022. If I can complete that, if I'm with Silvercore Narco Couch in 10 years from now, check back with me in the year 2032. Yeah. And I'll see how I'm going. Put that reminder in your phone. Has Dylan completed his shiny decks 10 years from now? We'll see how we're going. Well, that would be the ideal. That would be the best. The other thing I then added, I was like, wow, Pokemon that have slight changes in their gender, like the gender differences. So I started that. That's a box now. So like, for example, Pikachu, the male one has like your normal Pikachu tail that you see in the anime, like Ash's Pikachu. The female one has like a heart-shaped tail, like end on it, like stuff like that. So that's now a box. I've just got a little bit overboard. I have no idea why. I'm fucking losing my mind over here. And then the other Pokemon thing I want to talk about real quickly is Pokemon Go. I just want to shout out that they've updated something in the game that was complete trash before, and they've actually made it kind of cool now, which is that they had the Mega Evolutions in the game for like a year or something like that. I never used them because you had to have, like, the only way to Mega Evolve your Pokemon was you had to do the mega raids, which were really hard, and you couldn't like solo them or do them with two people. You had to have like maybe a handful of people. I couldn't be fucked doing them half the time. And then you got the mega candy or energy, actually, so mega energy, and you needed like 200 to mega evolve a Pokemon. It would only then say mega evolved for like 8 hours, and then after that you would have to get like another 200 energy to mega evolve them. However, while they're mega evolved, obviously they're a lot better at battling because they have more XP and they hit harder, but then you also got bonuses on like more like candy when you catch Pokemon while you have a Pokemon mega evolved and all this sort of shit. Anyway, they changed it all now so it actually makes sense and it's good, and I really like it, and now I've been trying to mega evolve more, and that's so once you get 200 energy to mega evolve a Pokemon, you mega evolve it once, and then they now have levels and recharge times. So at level 1, if you just mega evolve a Pokemon once, it'll then take 7 days, I think it is, or 5 days, one of those, 5 or 7 days, and then you can mega evolve it again for free. So every like week you can mega evolve this. You only have to pay the cost once. You can use more mega energy to cheapen the cost and mega evolve it earlier. The more you mega evolve a Pokemon, it'll level up. At higher levels, it means I think you can get it down to, you can mega evolve it in 72 hours. So I just want to say that Pokemon Go, although, I'm not like a hardcore player, like I play it, but am I over here? I do think this is something, I literally had never mega evolved a Pokemon until they made this update. And then I was like, oh, that's actually kind of cool now and helpful and stuff. So I did that. And because you can just mega evolve a Pokemon for free once you've done it once, you can always sort of have Pokemon mega evolve. Cool shit. And I'm seeing a lot more people in the raids I've been doing lately have mega evolved Pokemon, so that's cool. And then since I just made this Pokemon What I've Been Playing segment, I tagged on a news story here. I just want to point out my slight disappointment in this, but I'm still going to watch it. So all the way back in February, they announced that we was getting this Pokemon anime based in the Hisuian, how the fuck you say it, region, the Pokemon Legends Arceus region, that we're getting this anime. It's a 3-episode thing that's coming to YouTube and the Pokemon TV app. Not to say that it'll be bad. It is being done by Wit Studio, who have done Pokemon the movie The Power of Us and the recently released Bubble movie that's on Netflix. So like the animation,
which is fantastic.
I want to watch it. I still haven't watched it, but I will watch it.
Bubble movie's very good.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch
very good. Its animation's breathtaking.
So I'm not saying like I don't think it'll look good. I'm just like I think that region's so interesting that I kind of want more. But I'm still keen for this 3 episodes. The story's going to focus on, it says, I wrote it here somewhere, the fuck is it? It focuses on a character called Alec and his encounter with Hisuian, I don't know how to say it. But anyway, it's Zora in a world where kids are taught Pokemon and humans can't live together long before trainers. So yeah, it's like a cool angle where you get to see this anime from a focus where like humans are scared, to interact with Pokemon and stuff like that compared to typical Pokemon anime where it's like, oh, cool thing, catch it, interact with it. So it's a really interesting region. So I'm definitely keen to watch it. It's just, am I going to like it so much that I'll be disappointed there's not more of it. All right, let's get into the main topic for this week, which is, of course, Embracer Group buying a bunch of studio and IP from Square Enix. So this includes Crystal Dynamics, the developers behind Tomb Raider, Eidos Montreal, who recently did Avengers. $300 million is the total cost. So press release released says from Embracer Group says, we are thrilled to welcome these studios into Embracer Group. We recognize the fantastic IP, world-class creative talent, and track record of excellence that have been demonstrated time and time again over the past decades. It's been a great pleasure meeting the leadership teams and discussing future plans for how they can realize their ambitions become a great part of Embracer. Then there's like 50, they haven't confirmed exactly everything they got. Like there's a list of, Embracer mentions over 50 back catalog games they'll continue to publish, but the big name stuff they've got definitely is like Tomb Raider, Deus Ex, Legacy of Kain, Thief. 1,100 staff in total has been part of the deal. And then in Square Enix's press release, they said the transaction will assist the company in adapting to the changes underway in the global business environment by establishing a more efficient allocation of resources, which will enhance corporate value by accelerating growth in the company's core businesses in the digital entertainment domain. In addition, the transaction enables the launch of new businesses by moving forward with investments in fields including blockchain, AI, and the cloud. Kieran, what do you make of all this, and how do you feel about it?
Kind of two parts of me. One, the obvious one, blockchain's bad. Square Enix's opinions and kind of interest in the blockchain NFTs is kind of scary. It is scary for games like Final Fantasy that could include NFTs and kind of have that be featured within the game, including Final Fantasy 14. On the other hand, could be interesting to see some of these IPs get a second chance. I am a big Soul Reaver / Legacy of Kain fan, and I wish that those games could get another opportunity on new generation hardware, because there is some fantastic lore and storytelling behind those. I think Tomb Raider needs a new lease on life a little bit. I think it's kind of ran its course with its last reboot, and to find a new way forward with that franchise. I think there's a lot of potential there that could have something done with it. It's just really sad that Square Enix has chosen to sell these with the intended ambition to be related to blockchain and NFTs in general.
It's not even like they're trying to hide it. They're literally like, we had to sell this stuff to look towards the future.
Yeah, they're just being, and it's so fucking weird and kind of sketchy that they're being so open and willing about all this stuff. It's like, guys, come on, why? We don't need to do this. You don't need to sell this stuff. You don't need to get into blockchains and stuff. It's not. Yeah, it's bad. It's real bad.
Ash?
Yeah, it was kind of it was very surprising. Like, you wake, and kind of the news broke like at a weird time, like late Sunday here in Australia, I think.
Yeah, it was a weird time.
So it was really weird. And just, I think the value is the thing that surprised everybody.
$300
million, especially with those IPs. I think Lara Croft alone would probably be worth maybe half that. I would say Lara Croft is like $150 million worth franchise, purely based on the history of games that you could potentially use. The films, obviously, they've got another movie in the works somewhere in the near future, and an animated series on Netflix. So, like, what's obviously Square Enix was production partners on those. Is Embracer Group going to be taking that over and that kind of stuff? Yeah, it's kind of interesting. And then what are going to happen to the different studios, especially the ones that have Square Enix in the name? Are they going to be Embracer Group, or what part of the Embracer Group are they going to be part of? Which umbrella are they going to fall under?
Well, they're just I don't know. I think they'll just fall under their own. I think.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird, and like why Square Enix would do this for an industry that it feels like it's going to very boom or bust, and is plagued by scammers. Why are they so gung ho on this blockchain and NFT stuff?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I mean, rumors are abounding that they're potentially going to sell the rest of Square Enix to somebody else. So,
wild year,
like didn't see it coming.
No. Crazy year. For people who don't know, it's a little bit more. Embracer Group, they have like a bunch of sort of subsidiaries. Which
any other studio that isn't attached to somebody they're probably part of the Embracer Group.
Yeah. So like, I'll read off here. At first you'll be like, I don't know these people, but then suddenly you'll be like, oh. So it's like they've got Amplify Game Invest, which has a bunch of stuff. And Azomdi, I don't know what that is. Coffin Stain Holding, which has Coffin Stain Studios in it. Goat Simulator and stuff. Dark Horse Media, so Dark Horse Comics and Entertainment. DECA Games, which has Crazy Labs, the standout. Easy Brain, they've got Gearbox Entertainment. They picked them up late last year, so that's of course Gearbox Publishing, Gearbox Software, Cryptic Studios, Koch Media. Of course, their big stuff is like Deep Silver, Flying Wild Hog, Vertigo Games. Then got Saber Interactive. They have 3D Realms, Spire, don't know what the big ones are. Zen Studios, I guess. Then they've got THQ Nordic, which continues to pick up. Even within THQ Nordic, continues they buy shit left, right, and center. Of course, they just pick up more and more and more studios and like dead IP and bring it back to life. So. If you just think that THQ Nordic has a bunch of studios within them, Embracer Group's the big dog holding Oh, they're Thanos of all these people. They've got the Infinity Gauntlet. So they're putting it all together. Now they've got a bunch of...
I think they're more like Galactus, like eating worlds.
Yeah. I mean, well, no, that's... Thanos is... what's the fucking other one? The Chinese company that's like got their hand in every pie.
Tencent?
Tencent, yeah. Tencent's is Galactus. Yeah, so it's super interesting. I actually think it's fine though. Like ultimately, I don't feel like there's any need to fret. Like if you're a Tomb Raider fan, I don't think there's any need to fret over this, you know?
I think you should be more positive than anything.
Yeah.
With it, honestly. Like, I think Square has had its time with all of these franchises. It's done what it's done with them, and I don't think it's been too spectacular. I don't think any of the franchises we've listed, you could say Square Enix made them better or took them to another level. I think, this
I would
is a new opportunity
say
for a lot of fresh starts.
maybe Deus Ex. Like, obviously, that first game was beloved and is like a classic or whatever, but it kind of...
Mankind Divided was mixed. Oh, no, most people liked it, I guess.
I mean, it made it a franchise that was relevant again. It made it a franchise. That's what happened.
Yeah. I mean, like, Avengers is a game that I don't feel like most people care about, so...
They just had Guardians of the Galaxy, which was a pretty good...
Yeah, but they were... Remember
success.
we talked about that in news story like a couple months back where they said
Square
they
Enix is like, if it doesn't sell the best ever, then it's not worth it, so... Yeah. I mean, the potential is there for like some of these properties that haven't seen any love, like get new life or new games.
I mean, I can only hope. I mean,
everybody wants Gex.
Yeah,
everybody's like
Gex is the one I've been. I'd love a new Gex. Man, Gex is cool.
Gex was
all that Gex.
Gex had like the coolest. Like you back in the day of the PS1, going into game stores, you'd always see the Gex.
Yeah, the Gex cover,
the Gex cover with like him with a little tuxedo and
glasses.
Yeah, it was good shit.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, he seems rife for mobile games. Right?
Fuck off.
Like, give us a Gex Go.
Gex Go, you fucking piece of shit. I mean, I'm down for more Soul Reaver as well. Like, any of that sort of shit. So, there's definitely like, and the thing is, like, I'm almost, when you're talking about where do these like companies end up, I'm almost like, we'll keep like put Crystal Dynamics and Eidos together, like somewhere, right? But then give Gex and Soul Reaver to THQ.
No, don't give them to THQ.
Yeah, that's become their bread and butter, reviving these IPs as AAA releases.
Yeah. So what they do is they do a remake of Gex all the Gex games, and then if that's successful, then they'll make a new one.
I'm fine with that,
they've
though.
done with SpongeBob, right?
Yeah, I mean that's what they've been doing, and Destroy All Humans and whatever the fuck else. That's what they do.
Yeah. So
I mean, if you had to put it anywhere, where it would end up. The NFT market collecting is also quite funny. So this is the story. I'm just skipping ahead in this Kotaku article here a little bit. They they're like reading, going off of reporting by the Wall Street Journal, but they write the Wall Street Journal doesn't mince words in its reporting. The opening line is simply, quote, "The NFT market is collapsing," end quote, citing not only that 92% fall in sales, but also the extraordinary drop of active wallets by 88% since November. This is partly, it seems, due to the rising interest rates that are strangling the poorest, but in turn causing the richest to be far less risky in their speculation. And you can't get much more speculative than betting on mass delusion of JPEG ownership. That's a delusion that's been breaking for a lot of people of late, who have discovered the promises that NFTs would somehow gain value over time isn't vaguely true. We recently reported of Sina Estavi's attempt to sell the NFT of Jack Dorsey's first tweet, for which he'd paid US $2.9 million, expecting to see bids of $50 US million, and receiving nothing higher than US $3,600. He's since had a bid just shy of $14,000 US. Hilariously, as the Wall Street Journal reported last month, his reason for not parting with it is for this overpayment of US $14,000 is because, quote, "because I think the value of this NFT is far greater than you can imagine. And whoever wants to buy it must be worthy." Man, these are some fucking weird motherfuckers.
By worthy, he means rich.
Yeah, exactly. Man, if you're paying
By worthy, he means gullible.
If you're paying $2.9 million for a JPEG, get the fuck out of here. Like,
for a JPEG of a tweet that
They're
available.
not fungible until your Instagram account gets hacked.
Yeah.
And then they're fungible and gone and you can't get them.
Yeah.
Also, I like how Kotaku links to tweet and it's like, here, so you can have your own copy. Just screenshot that shit. I tell you what, I've just, on the NFT and the Web 3.0 and all this sort of stuff, like, I started listening to the Reggie Fees and the audiobook, right? And knowing that at some stage that this amazing story turns to him, like, when he was tweeting about fucking, what was he tweeting about? It was the blockchain or...
He wants to sell his Animal Crossing
and all
world.
that sort of shit. I was like, Reggie, no. Well, you were the chosen one.
Let somebody else have it. That's all I'm saying. It's fine.
Fix that.
Doesn't need to be on the blockchain though.
No, don't need that shit on the fucking blockchain. Fucking ridiculous. Great. Shout out to that book though. I'm enjoying it so far. About like a quarter way in. It's good. Quite interesting. Lots of business advice, I guess, and just general life advice you can draw from that. Not just, I fucking Nintendo, sort of thing. So, quite interesting if you want to know more about him. That book just came out. I think it was last week, right? It just dropped last week, I think. Maybe. Anyway, it's on audiobook. Audible. He reads it himself. So, you get to hear the big man himself read you. That'll do it. This week's episode of Arcade Couch. Let us know any comments, questions, concerns you've had about the show, or the things we've discussed or will be discussing next week, or things you want us to discuss. Either tweet at us, join our Discord. ExplosionNetwork.com/Twitter takes you to our Twitterers. ExplosionNetwork.com/Discord takes you to our Discord where you can join and talk. And if you liked this episode and thought it was worth $1, head on over to ExplosionNetwork.com/support to drop $1 to help keep the show going, keep the lights on at the website, help keep the reviews, news, and all these sorts of things coming in. That'd be much appreciated. And check out Arcade Couch Between the Cushions, which is dropping later today if you listen to this early, and if not,
it's the show that other people make you pay for.
The show other people make you pay for. That's right. Number one tagline. Until next week. Same time, same couch. Goodbye.